Stories from within. Well, this is the place where I can share the secrets of life, the things that go on, the things that maybe I just can't just throw out there on Facebook Live, which would be really cool, but I've noticed sometimes those people just don't really listen, or maybe they just kind of see it as like this gossip situation. And really what I'm trying to share here is not even gossip. It's more like enlightenment. It's miracles that are happening in my life, but not only miracles that can happen for me, but miracles that can happen for you. Well, I'll just start off with, a while ago I was thinking that my husband was a narcissist, and I was on this like weird place in my mind since like October of last year, since our anniversary, which was his birthday, which was our wedding anniversary. I was thinking all this negative stuff, and then suddenly my mom died in November. In December, I was trying to like sort out all her personal stuff with her family, and then her funeral was in January of 2022. And so February was the month when I was just really just trying to like heal and move on, as well as March, April, and May. And here we are. You know, it's July now. It's going to be August soon. And I feel like life has been, healing. So life doesn't always have to stay the same. If you're going through some type of pain, some sorrow, some brokenness, some disappointment, it doesn't have to be labeled as a diagnosis or as a prolonged issue or disease or problem in your life. If you're having a difficult time in your marriage, it doesn't have to be difficult forever. Some people have difficulties for years, like 20 years or more. And then they feel like they wasted their whole life and they weren't happy. Well, you know what, you guys? The more and more I learn about the psychology of happiness and the mind and just life in general, happiness has to do with you. It has to do with me. It's our responsibility. It's nobody else's responsibility if we are happy. Literally, happiness is a mindset. There's been people in the world that were slaves, or that were suffering, or were under the worst things, and they managed to be happy. And I think it was because it was either faith or spirituality or some type of like goodness in their hearts. They would just hope for the best. Maybe they had some piece of knowledge of heaven that other people don't know. And one thing that I have of knowledge when it comes to like mental health is that mental health is a creepy, weird thing. Right before my mom died, I was really moody and really upset. I was not happy. I felt so heavy. I felt so distressed. And I feel so distressed because I feel like me having a baby, it literally traumatized me. It freaked me out. It made me feel like I was all drugged up on the epidural, for one, which I'm like such a weak person when it comes to drugs and alcohol. I'm just not into that much, and it has to be very low doses. And even birth control had to be at low dose, because if it was like a regular dose, I was like bitch lady. I was like the worst. I mean, I was like the nastiest daughter. My mom couldn't stand me like when I was moody. So what I'm trying to share here about mental health is that when I used to work in the psych department, at like a mental hospital, I worked there for about 10 months. I lost my job there because I was really getting along with the clients, and administration didn't really like that. And I've always been that kind of person. Like, I just know how to get along with people. I know how to have fun. It doesn't have to be like totally crazy like, or horsing around and stuff like people like to call it. It just has to do with being friendly and just learning to be healthy. When I'm taking notes for the day before I leave the psych ward, I take notes because it's my job to take notes. And I was very, very clear about how I took my notes. It wasn't no no horse playing or screwing around with that. Everything had to be perfect. We would get audited like weekly by one of the workers there. She would always come around and make sure everything was just written just right, and the writings were legible. And so when it came to reporting, all good. When it came to working, all good. Showers, vital signs, making sure everybody's eating, everybody's safe, everybody's doing what they gotta be doing. Like the room's clean, everything's safe, good. People getting help if they need it, stuff like that. It was great. It was wonderful. And some of these people were just mentally just sad. And what do you do with that kind of person? You make them glad. You tell them a joke. You ask them how they're doing. You make them feel like they're important. How do you make a person feel important? You ask them how they're doing. How can I help you? What would you like? That's it. That's simple. Sometimes it's leaving people alone when they tell you, leave me alone. Okay? I'll see you later. Hope you feel better. I'll come back later. Big deal. It's no big deal. It's like the easiest thing in the world to just have some consideration and kindness for people when they ask you. Wow. Well, what I'm trying to say here is that what I've been learning is that we have to take care of people and love people as if they have a mental illness. And what do you do when someone has a mental illness? You don't go, hey, you have a mental illness. Because if you do that, you're going to cause some serious issues. If you know someone takes medication, you don't go, hey, take your medication. Hey, you're acting up. You need to take your medication. That's personal shit. Nobody should be talking like that to anybody. No one should be pointing out people's faults. You shouldn't be pointing out people's faults if somebody's being negative. Don't point it out. If you can, just try to ignore it. Just don't even talk about it. Just small talk, Somebody's being a bitch. Somebody's being cruel. Maybe if you really want to say something, then go at it. But let me tell you, it's not going to be healthy. It's not going to be easy. You're just going to keep raising your voices. It's going to be very uncomfortable. But sometimes you got to get there. Sometimes you got to go there. Sometimes you got to tell somebody that you've had enough. And it's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be soft-lighted or, in a light voice. It's going to be loud. It's going to be obnoxious. It's going to be a storm, basically. So what am I saying here? What I'm saying is that incredible things have been happening in my life with my husband. He's becoming more loving, more kind, and it's because I'm not griping at him anymore. I'm not really criticizing him or complaining. Now if I come into the kitchen last night and I'm trying to take care of my daughter and suddenly I see a spider going towards her, a big huge one, I go get the child, pick her up, and I go, oh shit, and then I try to kill the spider, and then another one comes and I'm like, oh my god, and then my husband starts nagging, and I give him a good one, and I say, hey, you don't do this and you don't do that. I'm trying to protect my daughter. So he got upset about it, that he thought I was being mean to our daughter when I was really just trying to attack a spider that almost attacked our daughter. So if you have an issue with your friends, your family, you really got to tell them, that they pissed you off, then go ahead. But please try to do it in love, because the more you do things in love, and life is a little bit more peaceful, more loving, more forgiving, less arguments, just more grace. Even when you got laundry piled up, there's just things that you don't like that are going on. If you can just give grace and forgiveness, and just even tell your friends or family, hey, just letting you know this and that's happening. I'm getting old. I just don't have any patience for that right now. It's not like when I was a kid. Share things. And just, if anybody tries to argue with you, you just tell them, hey, you know what? I'm not going there today. Life's too precious, and I'll talk to you later. Serious. Something very simple like walking away, or even telling someone kindly that you cannot tolerate the misdoing, the words, whatever, the energy that they're trying to share with you. Just let them know, I can't handle it right now. But I understand what you're saying, and I just can't tolerate this right now. I gotta go. And I promise you, life will be much easier than just griping, complaining. It's gonna be all right. Well, anyways, amazing things are happening today. I finally left the house without feeling like I'm gonna cry and upset. I got up early, encouraged my husband to get up, and it's a good day. If you need something, please make sure you ask somebody. Let them know you need some help, you need a break, and I'm pretty sure somebody will help you out. It might be your family member or your friend. And life is good. Just remember that. If you really want life to be good, it will be good for you. But you also have to make good steps to make life good. All right? Take a chance today. I'll catch y'all later. Love y'all.